pylon going up somewhere. Robo Bay is finishing for MC in the next minute.
They both do
Obviously be
have
Colossus.
+1 weapons on the way, and there are the combat shields for Bomber coming out, so his Marines will have that little bit of extra health.
And Charge on the way for MC, so he'll have Charge and Blink. And now Thermal Lance started, so we'll see probably Blink, Charge Lot, and Colossus.
No, Charge is definitely a good choice
Not
from what
often you
he's
go with
seen.
the new. Yep, not often you go with the new style of Charge Lot Archon, sticking with what he knows best in the Protoss Deathball. That is a lot of Zealots out in the field, though. So I think he really wants to do some damage to those Marauders.
Well,
The units
Bomber
are
interestingly actually has
running near
Mobius
the front.
reactor researching right now, so he's gonna have that extra energy for the ghosts.
He will. I think he expects a High Templar swap at some point, and that battle did happen. And with all those force fields, Bomber just decides it's not worth it. Lifts up the units in the front and takes off.
Yeah, now the good part of MC right now is he does have an observer at the area where the ramp is, so he does know when he needs to place those force fields. He actually has a probe at the natural in the bottom right, so he has a lot of vision on the map, knowing how many expos that Bomber is able to take right now.
As well as a pylon down there at the bottom right, hidden off on the side. So if there is an expo, which has been already built, now turning into orbital commands, will probably be lifted off either the bottom right or the middle left. Both are very good expansions, depending on where you choose is safest for you to defend. And MC is also getting his third, so third base is coming out for both players.
Yeah, and there's that Templar archives that we
Now,
can assume Bomber was expecting with those ghosts.
and that's a common theme now is once a Protoss starts going Colossus, they force the Vikings, and once the Vikings are in a large number, they just go Storm because there's not as many medevacs as there could be, which is very dangerous if the Terran doesn't see and is overproducing on Vikings, or underproducing if the swap is done back to Colossus. Very easy to change what tech path you're going on once you have both the buildings.
Yeah, now
There's a
there is
battle
the
here in
storm
the
being
middle.
researched.
True. Looks like that prodding group of Stalkers, 11 Stalkers, saw the army coming, and now the Charge Lot Colossus Sentry is coming up. Put the force field down to stop anything. Bomber opting, however, to do a drop over, and the Colossus is just decimating one unit at a time, so he decides to fall back. There's no point trying to do that.
Yeah, and he
MC,
did
however,
take a ghost,
wants to
so
fight. Loses 2 Colossus, however, that was an odd choice.
I can only assume he was focused on macroing somewhere else. Seems pretty weird not to
Yeah.
move those Colossus back.
Yeah, I think once he stopped the drop, he expected Bomber to leave, but Bomber chose not to. And now Charge Lodge is ripping into Bomber's army.
Now he did,
Very close.
Bomber did get some pretty good EMPs off there, took most of the sentry's energy away, so he was unable to force field the retreat. If he had those force fields,
And now the Storms.
I imagine Bomber would have lost that fight a lot earlier if there was force fields.
Yeah. Would have stopped any sort of aggression. And now the Storms just decimated whatever Bomber had coming. Those units were already injured from the Charge Lots, and then Storm finishing them off. Now Bomber is on full retreat, with only 4 Vikings and 1 Marauder getting out of that battle. Looks like 1 Marauder left up in the middle, but might just be there for a scout. And he does lift that 3rd command center up and is putting it at the middle left, as MC is now getting saturated on his 3rd.
Yeah, he has got the 6th gas going up, so he has a lot of resources to work with.
Yep, and he is ahead by 36 supply, now shooting up to 39 supply. MC definitely took a lead on that last battle, and I think Bomber's a little nervous about it.
Yeah, and actually on the units lost right now, it's 9,100 resources Bomber has lost compared to 6,200 for MC. And considering economically they're both on 3 bases, that would indicate that MC is slightly ahead right now.
Yeah, I mean, that last battle, the only units that MC lost were those 2 wasteful Colossus and his Charge Lots, but the Charge Lots were really just there to tank damage. And then the Storms did all the finishing work. Now MC pushing in towards Bomber's 3rd as the Sensor Tower goes up and now dies. So it didn't last very long. And that small force of Marine Marauders is just getting ripped apart. they have to retreat.
Yep, and stimming to get away from the Protoss army there. Now he probably did just
Which is
sacrifice his
smart.
third. Uh, which, I mean, if he loses that third, he's probably lost the game. Does not have much
Yep.
to go behind after that gets taken out.
His army was just not big enough to defend the third, and the third itself was in a bad spot. That third is only good if you are out on the map, and there's the GG, down by 71 supply. It was a lot of interesting battles in that game. I think Bomber over-engaged and had too small of an army, and it just wasn't right for him at any of those battles. He did take out a lot of zealots in that second to last engagement, but the High Templar I think caught him off guard, and he just was not ready to get stormed while pushing forward. It's too bad.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the game would have maybe, well, I don't know if it would have turned out differently, but personally, if I was Bomber, I would have taken the bottom right expansion. I just took a look at his view, and he actually never even scouted that area, so he didn't even know there was a pylon there. That bottom right expansion is a
And
lot
with the
further
mobility
away.
of that bioforce, yeah, the mobility of the bioforce is he can just get down to that right hand side way easier than leaving his front, going around that cliff side, and essentially getting closer to the enemy's army if you are going to save your third on the left side. That bottom right hand, you can just go from your natural to your third, or the choke point to your third pretty quickly. And then it also opens up the ability to defend the gold if you do choose to take that, because the bottom bases, their gold is on the right side. So going to the left is very risky for that third. And that was proven when MC decided he just wanted to go attack, and then he found the third.
Yeah,
Overall, a good game by MC. I think Bomber could have scouted a little bit better. That MC had full vision of everything Bomber did with those observers, and that was smart by him to get the early robotics bay or facility out and get that observer, and then later on go into Robo, rather than just quickly get Colossus out. He got a good size warp gate force before going into Colossus.
yeah. I mean, once you
Any
have
thoughts by you, zdra, in closing?
Yeah, I mean, once you have the High Templar Colossus against the Bio army of Terran, it's very hard for the Terran to be able to take that out without doing some sort of tech switch into maybe mech, because High Templar and Colossus, they just decimate any Marina Marauder ball. Even with the Medivacs, they cannot heal that fast.
Yep, and if you're not well ahead on your ghost and you're out there EMPing before the engagements happen, which is hard when there's an observer on the field, as well placed as MC had his, the ghosts just aren't as effective as they could be. Ghosts aren't great when you're already in battle. And for Bomber, I think he definitely could have. One thing that would have really helped in that game is that drop. If he had achieved that drop or done a drop from the left side of the base, which actually has a very nice cove as well, it could have changed the whole game for him. But once he lost that drop, or didn't lose the drop but failed the drop, MC was ready for it, and he just began to macro behind it because he knew once the drop wasn't going to work, he had everything.
Yep, and I just think that's why he
Like,
lost. He committed too much to those drops.
yeah, and he just decided to not go home, and he decided to push, and that hurt him. But big thanks to Team Liquid and Liquipedia for having the replay pack from DreamHack available in the DreamHack Summer 11 Liquipedia. And big thanks to Reddit for pointing out this game. It's a good game. It's a good series. If you have not seen Game 2 and Game 3, definitely go check it out at blip.tv. I believe Day 9 was the caster for it. And he has all the archives.
And I think Colin just got some sort of arrest there with that noise in the background, so that's where we're going to end it.
We're going to end it there. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for viewing. Have a great day.